Welcome to the Valmika Property Investing Podcast. I'm JP, your host and the founder of Valmika Buyers Agency. With my background in investment banking, I'm here to share Wall Street tips and secrets for building a top 4% property portfolio. Let's dive into the world of property investment together. Welcome to another episode. Today we are going to be speaking about what some call the Achilles heel, and that is navigating body corporates and strata living in Australia. We're going to cover a few topics under this. So firstly, we're going to describe what is a body corporate, or strata as it's called in Australia. Secondly, we're going to go into understanding bylaws and the committee roles. We'll also throw in a few case studies here. We will then move on to financial responsibilities and levies. Next, resolving disputes in strata living, and then tips for living in a strata scheme. So let's get straight into it. So what is a body corporate? So body corporate is a legal entity representing all owners within a strata scheme. So this can be in an apartment building, a townhouse complex, etc. So what are they there for? They are responsible for managing the shared common areas. And what are these? So these are the areas including gardens, pools, lobbies, elevators, and building maintenance. And also their job is to ensure the adherence to bylaws. So let's get into what bylaws are. So what are bylaws? These are the rules governing behavior and use of those common areas I've just described within that strata scheme. So they typically cover issues like pet ownership, noise restrictions, parking regulations, and guest policies. I'm sure we've all come across these if you've lived in a strata or you've owned investments that are governed by these strata laws. Sometimes they can cause you a lot of headaches. So who's responsible for making sure that we adhere to these bylaws? They are the body corporate committee. So who are they? So they are elected by the owners of the units, and they volunteer their time to manage the day-to-day operations of the body corporate. So think of it in their shoes, right? You're not even getting paid for this, but you're making sure that people adhere to these rules. So what they do is they make decisions regarding maintenance, budgeting, and the bylaw enforcement. Okay, let's look at a case study. And this is one that comes up quite a lot. So there was a case where a guy by the name of John, he was a resident of an apartment block, and he enjoyed playing loud music late at night. And this disrupts the neighbors. This is a common thing, right? So the neighbor lodged a formal noise complaint with the body corporate committee. And then this body corporate committee to make sure that they issue a warning, and if the warnings are not adhered to, they can take further action if it persists. And it can go as far as going legal. So it's very important that the body corporate's decisions are taken seriously. So what are the financial responsibilities and the levies, so to speak? So there are two types of levies. First of all is the standard body corporate levies. So these are regular fees paid by each owner to contribute to the maintenance and upkeep of the common areas. They also cover costs like building insurance, utilities for common areas, cleaning, gardening, and potential repairs. So this is the upside of having a strata unit, is that all those responsibilities are on the strata to do. So you don't have to worry about any of those, but you've got to make sure that it is paid for. Then, of course, is the one that catches many people out when they're purchasing strata title units, and that is special levies. These are one to always look out for. So what are these? So in some cases, they can be unforeseen expenses like major repairs to the building exterior or roof, and that may necessitate a special levy. And that what this does is it requires all owners to contribute an additional amount. And sometimes if it's a major repair, this can be a significant amount. When you acquire an investment property that is strata titled, it's always important to look at the strata report. You can see the economic strength of the strata, whether it has a good, well-managed strata levy base, or whether they're in debt. If they're in debt, it's a big red flag, and we steer away from stratas that are not managed well, because it just causes more problems and can affect your investment negatively. So make sure that you look at these strata reports, see what's upcoming for repairs, see if there's going to be any special levies, or if there are current special levies, because this will need to be factored into the purchase price of your investment property. This also goes for commercial property as well. It's important to look at the strata reports. So how do disputes in strata get resolved? Now there's a few main areas that are used commonly. First of all, and the most common one, and the one that is tried to be used more often than not, is just open communication. It's all about relationships as well. So open communication and a willingness to find solutions are key to resolving disputes within a strata scheme. And it's the easiest, least expensive way. Secondly is body corporate meetings. So regular meetings provide a platform for owners to voice concerns, discuss issues, and vote on decisions affecting the strata scheme. So if there's any disputes, it's worthwhile going to these corporate meetings and resolving it amicably. If this breaks down, the first point of call is mediation. So mediation services can be helpful in reaching a mutually agreeable solution for all parties involved. If mediation falls, then it goes to legal, and the ugly, expensive route will follow. So if you're living in a strata scheme, and also if you're investing in one, what are the tips for dealing in or living in a strata scheme? Number one, review the bylaws. Familiarize yourself with the building rules before moving in or before investing in the property. See if the bylaws are reasonable. Because if they're not, when you attract tenants, for example, it might be difficult to keep them. Secondly, attend body corporate meetings so you can stay informed and participate in the decision-making processes. Be part of the decisions. Secondly, if you're living in it, be a responsible resident. So respect the bylaws and ensure your actions don't negatively impact other residents. This is also important for attracting tenants. So due diligence around the tenant is important, because if they do not respect the bylaws, it affects your investment and gives you more problems to deal with down the line. And lastly, communicate effectively. Always address any issues with your neighbors or the body corporate committee directly and respectfully. I hope this was an informative session for you. As always, if you have a topic you would like me to discuss, please email me at info@valmikaproperty.com, or alternatively, please leave a comment in the section below and I will get to it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of the Valmika Property Investing Podcast. If you're interested in our services, please visit us at valmikaproperty.com. Remember, the content shared in this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. For personalized financial advice, always consult your trusted financial advisor or professional. See you in the next episode.